to the greatest live show of all time. That is right, everybody. Now, today we're going to be talking about the TikTok ban, and more importantly, how I think this will, well, negatively impact free speech. Unfortunately, I know. I hate to say it, but this definitely is not looking good, to say the very least. Now, for those of you who are new here, I always make sure to include timestamps in the description below, so if you want to skip around for whatever wacky reason, you are absolutely more than welcome to do so. With that being said, I do want to talk about the TikTok ban, obviously, in terms of how I believe it's going to at least heavily infringe upon free speech in the great United States of America. Now, I'm not somebody that is, I don't know. Look, I'm a very political person, if you haven't noticed by now. I do have quite strong opinions, and one of those opinions is one that is very heavily in favor of protecting free speech. Also, good afternoon, Cheetah Man. Hope you're doing well today. Now, I've been seeing the news. I know, incredible. And it seems to be the case that the TikTok ban is mainly motivated by the Chinese government bad, which I agree with, don't get me wrong. I absolutely couldn't agree more. I do think that the Chinese government is bad. I know, I said it. But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily justify the blatant and unambiguous favoritism and what I would consider to be a violation of free speech. See, if the issue is, oh no, I'm so scared that they are going to steal people's data, well, that's what every other social media platform in existence does. So that's not a good argument. We can throw that out the window. The other one is the Chinese government is going to rig the election. There's no empirical data to prove this. This is literally just conspiracy brain rot. This is literally nothing. It's tantamount to me saying that social media in general should just be banned because it might rig the election. It's an insane, delusional argument, right? None of it makes sense. It seems to be the case that it has more to do with political interests, and the Chinese government is scary. And I agree. It's very scary. It's very scary. I couldn't agree more. I don't like the CCP. It is cringe. It is very bad. But regardless of how I may feel about the CCP, what exactly are they going to do with people's data on TikTok that other social media platforms don't do? Are they going to find some random Gen Z 18-year-old trans girl that makes TikToks supporting Palestine? What are they going to do with that data? If this is such a grand threat against national security, how would that even play out? Surely you would just not put anything that would pose a national security risk on the TikTok platform. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think that people that have information that you don't want the Chinese government to have are going to post things on TikTok that the Chinese government wouldn't otherwise be able to find? It's all a bunch of brain rot at the end of the day. Now, I don't like TikTok, if you can believe that. I don't like it at all. I think it's very cringe. I think it sucks. I think the content is awful. I cannot stand the app, but I do believe that it deserves the right to exist. Now, I'm not normally somebody that's a staunch defender of big corporations. In fact, it's quite the contrary. Normally, I'm against that. But this isn't about protecting a corporation. It's about people's right to have a certain platform that allows them to share their voice, to spread certain messages, etc. Right? Also, hello, Ryan and Sapphire. I think TikTok should exist, TBH. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It sucks. It's not the best platform in the world, right? I'm not a huge fan of TikTok myself. With that being said, I don't think it should be banned. And we're going to get into that, right? Whether or not it ends up getting banned and whether or not that's justifiable. Also, hello, Yanitza Mercado. Hope you're doing well today. Oh, I don't think TikTok should exist? Sorry, I misread that. Shouldn't? Okay, yeah. I think I misread your message. Sorry. I don't know why. What makes TikTok categorically different? It's Chinese spyware. You mean that they collect people's data like literally all other social media platforms in all of existence? Does that mean that we should ban Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and Twitter? Should we just ban all of it because they take our personal data? Well, that would be an insane position. Now, you could advocate in favor of certain laws that say, well, hold on a minute. Social media companies broadly ought to not collect such and such data. And that would be perfectly understandable. But this is not that. This is very different from that. So you have to keep in mind that this is not them trying to protect people from their data being stolen or whatever the hell. That's not what this is. Anyways, TikTok shouldn't have existed. Look, I understand the concern of it is brain rot and that it has dumb trends. But I think that people have a fundamental right to do as many dumb trends as they please, actually. I think that is well within people's rights to do. TikTok is cringe, and I don't like it. Ban it now. Yes, if you don't like something, that is definitely grounds for banning it, of course. Probably more brain rot is YouTube Shorts. Exactly. Saying that something is brain rot is not a good argument. It's just brain rot. Its algorithm makes it extremely addicting. Okay, your point. Why should that be censored? And the trends are often dangerous or criminal. Okay, then you could make, if it's really that big of a deal, you could say, okay, here's a specific regulation for this specific content being illegal, in which case TikTok as a platform wouldn't be held accountable, but the people doing the illegal activities would. Surely that's what you would do, right? If it's such a big problem. TikTok should be banned because of the, quote, I don't think TikTok should be banned because of the, quote, Chinese spyware argument. Like you said, pretty much everything does. Exactly. But the impact TikTok has on the newest generation is pretty... First of all, that doesn't mean it necessarily needs to be banned, right? I don't think that TikTok is solely responsible for people being dumber. That's not how social media works. I think that is a byproduct of a lot more than just TikTok. I think it's a failure of the education system of parents, etc. That is not TikTok's personal responsibility. Now, I want to get right into the main meat of the topic. TikTok has literally made our generation retarded. Do you have a source that it is specifically TikTok, or that people that are retarded that are a part of our generation have expressed their retardation on TikTok? I think there's a very important categorical distinction. I don't think that TikTok single-handedly converts people into retards. I think it is the opposite. I think that retards are the ones that make TikTok, well, a cesspool of retardation. That's all it boils down to, really. Fake Tourette's trend. And do you think that TikTok did that, or do you think that the users of TikTok did that? Again, this is an important categorical distinction to make. There's a very, very important distinction. You wouldn't happen to be a libertarian. I'm a libertarian socialist. It's not about the app, it's the environment it promotes. This is such a nebulous non-argument. The environment it promotes. First of all, that's not why they're banning it. They're not banning it because, ooh, spooky environment. Now, don't get me wrong. That would also be a terrible reason. That's not why they're doing this. So I want to get into this. TikTok gives me brain rot, so I avoid the app. Yes, I avoid the app too. I don't like TikTok, but I still think it has a right to exist, and I think that the user base has a right to use it. I feel like that's a fairly obvious and straightforward argument. It's not like anything out there. I don't think it's that controversial, to be completely honest. What exactly do they do that's so different from other social media platforms? Do you think that YouTube as a platform doesn't promote brain rot, whatever that nebulous term may be referring to? Do you think that Twitter and Instagram don't fucking constantly promote brain rot? That is the whole point. But you wouldn't advocate for them all being banned. Because that would be an insane position. Yes, let's ban all social media. Of course not. Crack is addictive and bad for me. I avoid it. Same art. Doesn't necessarily mean it should be illegal to consume, no? I'm just saying. Now, distributing, that could be a different argument. But whether or not something is addictive in of itself is not grounds for banning it. For instance, junk food is very addictive, but I wouldn't argue that there's any real legal grounds to ban it. I don't think that would be justifiable by any means. I think that people have the right to be fat asses who eat whatever the fuck they want. That is their fundamental right. If they want to eat junk food all day, more power to them. Is it good for them? You better believe it's not. But that's up to them. Similarly, I think that it's up to people that use apps like TikTok to make that decision for themselves. But those companies are American, so the categorical distinction is whether or not they're American? Why does that matter? So it's okay if the companies are American and they spy on people, and that's not possibly a national security risk, but a national security risk would be them being a Chinese-owned corporation. What would they be spying on? What are you doing with TikTok? Are there government officials spreading super important secrets on TikTok? No, of course not. What exactly is so sensitive to the point where it would be more harmful for a foreign government to have that information than for our government? Because I don't really think that there really is one. I think that at the end of the day, an invasion of privacy is ultimately what it boils down to, and you can make arguments against it, but it's not a problem fundamentally with the company being owned in another country. That's not the fundamental issue at hand. The fundamental issue at hand would be privacy, which applies to all social media corporations. So if you have an issue with privacy, it should not be a matter of whether or not it is owned by the Chinese government. It should be a matter of whether or not they are doing things that are an invasion of privacy. That would be the argument. They want ownership. Who wants ownership? The problem for me isn't that they're taking information, it's the information that they're pushing. That's how algorithms work. You understand that algorithms do that. So if you have a problem with the algorithm, what you would be advocating for is government regulations that are not the ones being pushed for, by the way. This would be a completely different argument in favor of regulations in terms of the way social media websites function algorithmically. And that's not really a route that I would like to go down. I don't want the government to be able to step in and say, you're not allowed to promote this type of content. Because if the government decides that this content goes against the best interest of the federal government, then they can just say, well, we've decided arbitrarily that your algorithm can't promote this. So that's not the line of reasoning I would like to go down. I agree that the Chinese government is evil. Doesn't necessarily mean we should be censoring shit, right? Doesn't that make us literally just as bad as the Chinese government? Isn't that literally what they do over there in China and Russia is they make sure that social media from other countries isn't an issue, right? They make sure that all of the social media comes from within and that's all in their country so that they can control it. You don't want that. That is not what you want. We don't want our country to become more like China. The Great American Firewall, unironically, that is what that could end up being. That's why I have an issue with this. We're not just as bad, but I get what you're saying. Of course I'm being hyperbolic. I'm being hyperbolic, obviously. The title is even a little bit hyperbolic. Do I think that free speech is going to be completely destroyed? Maybe not. Maybe not. But I do think it will definitely be hindered. It will be harmed, right? Do I think that it is literally going to be the Great American Firewall? Not necessarily, but it gets us closer to that. It gets us closer to fascism and authoritarianism. That's the issue. Yeah, but I don't want Xi Jinping to look at what goofy videos I'm looking at. So true, King. So true. The problem from they can just ban every social media with their power. Who, the government? Yeah, I don't want that. That's bad. American versus Chinese TikTok, for example, in Chinese TikTok, it's more educational. I don't care. Chinese TikTok is still, well, ultimately not pro-free speech. At the end of the day, is it more educational? Maybe. But it also censors and makes sure that there is nothing that says anything bad about the Chinese government. So what is the cost? Well, the cost is you remove people's ability to freely express their grievances with the government. That's the problem. Not the algorithm. Former employees of the company that owned TikTok have admitted that they manually push content that shortens attention spans, and that's bad. I agree that that's not ethical, right? But this is not what people are pushing. People are not pushing for social media websites to operate in ways that are more ethical. If the US government did that, that would be great. But those are not the types of regulations that they're trying to push. They're trying to limit freedom of expression. They're not saying that you need to change your algorithm. That is not what is being promoted. So keep that in mind. Do you think social media have connections with American governments for censorship? I'm not entirely sure, but I would prefer for that to not be the case, obviously. What happened? We'll get into that. The government are poopy buttheads. This is true. This is true. Regardless, I really want to get into this. I think this is all very important. So, the first thing I want to get into is 3 days ago, and this is 39 seconds long, so it's very short. TikTok ban bill passed by U.S. House of Representatives. So we'll start here, and then we'll go from there. All right.
The rules are suspended. The bill is passed, and without the objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
And with that vote, the House of Representatives has decided to require TikTok to separate from its China-based owner ByteDance or be banned from U.S. app stores in 6 months.
Or be banned from U.S. app stores in 6 months. So essentially what they're saying is you are not allowed to have this company that is owned by in another country own TikTok and have it be on the fucking app store. Do you not see why there's an issue with that? Where the only again, it's just a way of being able to control certain narratives, right? I don't think ByteDance will sell TikTok exactly. They're not going to. They're not going to sell it. They're just not going to. So it's just a ban on TikTok. That's all this is.
Supporters of the bipartisan bill cited national security concerns, arguing that the Chinese government could force ByteDance to hand over the data of its 100.
What are they going to do with the data? What data is on TikTok that's so detrimental to the U.S. government? That's such a national security risk. What, is it cringy 12-year-olds making TikToks? Oh no, the Chinese government's really going to use that. It's such a national security threat. No, of fucking course not. That's insane. They'll know you're a cat girl, Femyoz. Oh shit, this is true. This is true. So why is TikTok going to be banned? Because it's a national security risk, apparently, which is delusional, of course. What about all the people that already have it on their phones? I don't fucking know. It'll just stop updating and stop working, most likely. Right? Bipartisan boomer take. Yeah, literally. Like, this isn't them being like, oh, TikTok has caused all this brain rot. Like people are saying in chat. The people in chat, well, I disagree with the arguments for banning TikTok. These are better arguments than the ones that are being made in this legislation. That's why this is scary. Is random people in chat have made better arguments in favor of banning TikTok than the people that are actually pushing these policies. The whole, it's a national security risk. What national security risk is there? Are there government secrets being posted on TikTok? Is that where the government stores its information? Do they just upload private TikToks? No, of course not. That would be fucking insane. So where is the national security risk? Is it through the publicly uploaded TikToks? Is it through people's login information? You know, the information that every fucking social media company has? What is the risk? And why is this categorically different from any other company other than it is technically owned in China and China is bad? But saying that China is bad is not a good enough argument for censorship. Duh, the house is stupid. This is true.
170 million American users, something that TikTok has long denied. The bill now heads to the Senate, where it's unclear whether it will pass. President Biden has said that he would sign the legislation if it reaches his desk.
This is fucking terrifying, by the way. I think it might have passed in the Senate. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that. As far as I'm concerned, it has, I think, or it's going to. But I'm pretty sure this is going to end up getting passed. So, yeah, How do you feel about TikTok pushing for kids to call government workers and threaten suicide if TikTok is banned? Wait, TikTok is pushing for that, or the users of TikTok? Because there's a categorical distinction. This isn't TikTok doing that. It is the users of TikTok doing that. TikTok is not personally responsible for everything that its user base does. If this is the line of argumentation you want to go down, this is an argument that would be used against things like net neutrality that we all agree are good, right? The entire concept of net neutrality is that social media companies are not personally liable for everything that is said or done on their websites. The TikTok regulated algorithm, TikTok controls their own algorithm. Yes, so does every social media website. Of course, any social media website that is being threatened by the law is going to algorithmically promote shit. No fucking shit. But that is still the user base doing this shit, rather than what? TikTok is simply allowing them to have a mechanism through which they defend its right to exist. That seems fairly logical, actually. In all honesty, that's not really the worst thing that TikTok has done by any means. That's not really that bad. To be honest, I don't know how people can defend or to support the government literally attempting to control the media we are allowed to use as adults. Exactly. It's not like they're making it 18 plus or anything. It's not even a bullshit, let's protect the kids, LOL argument. It's literally just you, regardless of whether or not you're a child or a fully grown adult with a functioning brain, do not have the right to use TikTok, which is just government overreach. It's just blatant and unambiguous censorship. That's what it boils down to. The US will never regulate or ban something to protect consumers. It's against the founding motives of capitalism. Obviously it's not to protect consumers. Like we all know that, right? If it was to protect consumers, they wouldn't be doing it on the basis of a national security threat. That's obviously a load of horse shit. It's not a national security threat. What is the threat? I don't like or use TikTok, but it's concerning that the government is telling which apps I can and can't use. Exactly my point. I never use TikTok. TikTok fucking sucks, okay? I hate TikTok as much as the next person. I never use TikTok. But that doesn't mean I don't think it should have a right to exist just because it doesn't directly affect me as of right now. It could in the future, though. If the government decides to continue overreaching and telling social media companies that arbitrarily that they can or cannot exist based on some arbitrarily defined, ill-defined notion of a national security threat, this nebulous idea that doesn't actually exist in reality. So, apparently, something that was mentioned, and this is the next thing we're going to watch, is people that are on TikTok getting very upset over the fact that TikTok was banned. Rightfully so. It's their main platform of choice. Some of these people, I'm sure, aren't the most articulate or the smartest or the brightest. I mean, they are TikTok users after all. I mean, we all know that me and all my supporters are intellectually superior, further up on the intellectual ladder, yada, yada, yada. We know. But they still have a right to protest. I think there's nothing wrong with that. So let's see what this is all about.
A revolt led by youngsters.
Stop the ban.
Teens and young adults across the nation are rising up to save TikTok.
Which is not going to do shit, but I appreciate the effort, if nothing else. Random kids doing this doesn't really do shit. It's not going to convince anybody, but...
Stop trying to ban TikTok.
An army of young TikTok rebels are taking a break from viral dance crazes and challenges and coming together to stop the government from taking away their favorite social media platform.
God, I fucking hate the way this is framed. Oh God. It's like, oh yeah, they're just kids being kids. They just don't want their favorite social media platform to be taken. It's like, that's not what this issue is about. It's about censorship and not wanting individual liberty to be minimized for no apparent reason other than this nebulous notion of a national security threat that doesn't actually exist in reality.
You do you, I do me, and you leave my First Amendment right out your business.
I mean, she's objectively correct here. I don't know if this would be specifically a First Amendment right, but it's definitely a free speech issue, right? I don't know how this would apply, because like if we're talking about like the constitutional amendments, like these are so old that it's like, I don't know. I would argue that the fact that TikTok is such a widespread mechanism through which political speech, even if it's brain dead sometimes, I know, but yes, political speech is spread through TikTok, and it is a huge mechanism through which that is done. So this could actually be a violation of the First Amendment right on that basis, because it's not just people doing retarded challenges. There is, albeit mostly retarded, but political speech nonetheless. It is political by nature in many instances. And if you are removing one of the most mainstream mechanisms through which political information can be spread, then that is censorship in a way. You are, as the government, censoring some amount of political speech. That is objectively what you are doing. Even if it's brain dead teenagers that don't know what they're talking about, as long as they're not spreading misinformation, which a lot of the time they do, but a lot of the time they don't. You're not just banning misinformation, keep in mind. You're banning legitimate political grievances and information and opinions that people genuinely hold, even if they're not that well thought out. That's a problem. That is anti-free speech definitionally.
They're using their phones to actually make phone calls to members of Congress.
As they should. This is what you should do, by the way, unironically. Just annoy the shit out of Congress members. It's not going to change their minds, but it sure as hell is so fucking satisfying. Okay? Now, the reason I am specifically in favor of this, aside from it being very satisfying, I want people to be politically engaged. So that's one of the reasons I encourage this. So even if this isn't successful, one of the first things people do to be politically engaged is shit like this. So even if it's not going to actually change anything, I do think that there is genuine utility. It gets people in the habit of caring about politics, of advocating for things that are right and against things that are wrong, talking to the people that are in power. See, if you, as a youngster, for the first time, reach out to somebody in power because you notice that something is wrong that directly affects you, you are now going to have this experience, potentially, with talking to, or at least trying to talk to, somebody in power. So if there's some other issue that arises in the future that maybe doesn't affect you nearly as much, but it's still important, you may be more likely, because you already have experience doing this, to try and reach out to see if you can make a difference, right? That's why I think this is important. Sure, it's a bit fucking cringe, a little bit. I hate this narrator. Oh yeah, no, I fucking despise him. He sounds like a condescending retard. He's insufferable. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is, but the way he speaks. Also, why would we support a company that is paid by the CCP to, quote, destroy America? What do you mean destroy America? How is TikTok going to destroy America? And guess what? If people want to say that they're going to, quote unquote, destroy America, and they want to say that, right? As long as they're not destroying democracy, and they're like, let's say they, for instance, burn an American flag. That is well within their First Amendment rights. Part of free speech is being able to say things like, I want to destroy America. You have a right to say that. That is free speech. It might be bad speech. It might be speech you don't like. But if you don't like it, guess what you can do? You can make a counter argument and prove them wrong.
They've gotten these floods of telephone calls to their offices, mostly from
Good.
high school kids and middle school kids.
Based.
Ban TikTok. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable.
But
I don't know, like, showing this clip, though, it's like, what is the motivation here? Is it to show that, oh, you see, the opposition to banning TikTok is incompetent or unserious? Because that seems like the framing here, right? They're taking, whatever, young people for the first time being politically engaged, something good, and they're using it to frame the entire opposition to the banning of TikTok as unserious and childish, when in reality, they're right. They might not have the best arguments to articulate it, but they are objectively correct here. And then comparing it to, oh, look, here's all these super serious adults in Congress. That's what they're trying to do here. Femyoz wants to destroy America. This is very true. They should ban Telegram. Instead, it's Russian-owned and full of Nazis and CSAM. But as S-M, that would require them to be morally consistent. They can't do that. The First Amendment states federal government cannot make laws abridging speech. The ownership of a company is not speech. Wait, hold on. If they are banning an entire platform, an entire mechanism through which information is shared and distributed, one of the main mechanisms through which young people communicate with each other, and they are removing that, then I would argue that is censorship, because they know damn fucking well that they're not going to sell TikTok. That's not going to fucking happen. So they're just banning it outright. That's what they're doing. It's not really a matter of whether or not it's owned by China. They know for a fact that it's not going to actually sell the government. The ban is just an excuse for parents to be less parental. That too, that's part of it. But yeah, I think it's just a means of censoring younger voices that are political, simply because they don't want to maintain the status quo. Now, a lot of the political shit on TikTok is fucking awful. There's a reason I don't use TikTok, okay? I'm too smart for the app. I'm sorry. Just objectively true. But it's still a mechanism through which political speech is exchanged nonetheless, and that can influence people's political positions.
Politicians from both sides of the aisle say TikTok is dangerous.
They will force a sale. They're not going to sell it. That's not going to happen. They're not selling shit. Do you seriously think that there's a good chance of them selling TikTok? Yeah, sure, there's a non-zero chance, but it's not likely. Anyways, where was I? We used to have one national phone company in the night. Dude, this is the opposite. You realize that banning TikTok will just make it so that more power goes to the fewer large social media companies. You realize it does the opposite. It just allows there to be more power in a smaller number of social media platforms. You know that, right? This doesn't actually distribute power among more companies. It does the opposite. Because if you outright ban one of them, well, there goes a huge chunk of competition. And now you give all these other companies an opportunity to monopolize because TikTok is less readily available.
That its parent company is controlled by the Chinese government, giving them access to the personal data of TikTok's 170 million users.
You mean like what every other social media platform in all of human history has done, which is collecting way too much data? Again, if the problem is data collection, this is completely irrelevant to whether or not it's owned by the fucking Chinese. Again, what fucking oh my god, I'm actually so fucking... Oh my god. I'm actually... Oh god, I'm getting dehydrated. My mouth fucking hurts. With all due respect, Femyoz, no one is too smart for TikTok. Some just don't use it. You aren't immune to propaganda? I didn't say I was immune to propaganda. I said I was too smart for TikTok as a format. And what I mean by that is the brain rot is fucking insufferable to me. Because I don't know, it's just too low IQ. I'm sorry. I know that sounds a little bit fucking, I don't know. Maybe it sounds like I'm full of myself, and you better believe I am to an extent. But the fact that conservatives are the ones pushing this further demonstrates how anti-American they are. Exactly. Whatever happened to the free market? They don't care about the free market. They're anti-free market, right? We already know this. Chinese government won't let ByteDance sell anyways. Exactly. They're not going to fucking sell it. They're not going to sell they're not selling TikTok. It's not going to happen. They just want to ban a company or a mechanism through which information is shared more specifically they want to ban it from existence so that information that serves interests that are diametrically opposed to that of the governments are not propagated, essentially. That's what it boils down to. I mean, there's still a chance Joe Biden doesn't sign the bill. Nope, he does. He's going to. He said he's going to sign the bill. So, yeah, he said that. So, L. Joe Biden. I deal with conservatives every day due to my job. Conservatives are completely politically illiterate. Oh yeah, they absolutely are. They have incoherent positions. But at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is, you banning an entire fucking social media platform does not do any good. It doesn't protect people. It doesn't protect the consumers. What is the Chinese government going to do with some random 14-year-old trans girl's information? What are they going to do? What could they do? What is so important as information that it is worth banning over as because it's a national security risk? How is the national security being threatened? What information is threatening national security? It's a bullshit argument. It doesn't make any sense. It is illogical.
In America.
Today we take a stand against the Chinese Communist Party and their
No, you are taking a stand against free speech. That is all you are doing.
efforts to turn content creators in America into foot soldiers.
Into foot soldiers? What are you talking about? This is delusional. Turning them into foot soldiers? What the fuck are you even saying?
Kids are not buying it.
Like, I'm an 18-year-old girl in Michigan. What am I going to do for China? Take my information. I don't care.
The bill is
She's objectively right, by the way. She's objectively correct here.
passed.
Today, TikTok lost round 1 in Congress. Next comes the Senate. For the
I don't think it, yeah. I'm pretty sure that the Senate agreed with the House on this. Trump trying to go against his base to support TikTok was funny as fuck, though. Yes, a rare Trump W. Not gonna lie.
TikTok Children's Crusade, the battle goes on.
Don't take away the app. Let us keep our silly little TikToks.
Not just silly little TikToks, right? This is completely diminishing the actual issue at hand. There are people that spread political messages on TikTok. That is important. That is a part of discourse, is being able to spread and propagate different political messages, even ones that serve interests that are diametrically opposed to those of the federal government. But that's the point, isn't it? Is that they are diametrically opposed to the interests of the federal government. That's why they're banning it. Right? It doesn't make sense. National security threat, again, it's illogical. It's a bullshit fear-mongering tactic that isn't grounded in reality. And the people that are saying it know it's not grounded in reality. Crazy how fast this shit passes through government, but we can't get healthcare. Exactly. A lot of people hate TikTok, so they don't say a thing. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Trump going against this was a rare Trump W, but I feel like it was rooted in his in him going for his anti-establishment aesthetic and being contrarian. I feel like that's all it was. It was literally just him being contrarian, if I'm gonna be completely honest. Just migrate. So again, just migrate. This is exactly what I mean. You are in favor of allowing there to be only fewer companies based on the basis of what the government decides arbitrarily is or isn't acceptable. And for those fewer number of companies to be able to monopolize. So yes, you will migrate to one of the other large fucking social media platforms run by a huge corporation. Guess what? Those huge corporations are going to be able to monopolize a lot more fucking easily without TikTok. So, again, look, I'm not somebody that believes in the freer the market, the freer the people. But if we are dealing with a country that operates through capitalism, this is necessary. We can't just have there be a few companies, fewer than there's already too few that have complete control over everything in terms of the information, and they're going out of their way to decrease this number and deciding arbitrarily that they can just ban one because they feel like it because it's a national security risk, which isn't grounded in reality. Again, it's not grounded in reality, so I'm what's to say they're not willing to say the same bullshit with any other social media platform that they decide arbitrarily that they don't like in the future? What if they decide that they don't like Kick and they come up with an example? Oh, well, now that it's gotten larger, let's say Kick as a streaming platform starts to catch up with Twitch, okay? And it becomes a large platform through which a lot of political messages are propagated. And then the government decides that for whatever wacky reason, there's some sort of risk that makes them determine that it needs to be made illegal or banned in some way, unless they meet some arbitrary threshold that the government obviously knows that they're not going to meet. Again, it's just a pro-censorship position. Again, regardless of how much disinfo there is on TikTok, there's disinfo on every platform. And it doesn't seem to be the case that the ban is on the basis of disinfo. If it was on the basis of disinfo, and that was the sole factor this ban was contingent upon, it wouldn't be, you need to sell the company, even though we obviously know that you're not going to do that shit. It would be, hey, maybe do something to counteract this obvious disinfo that is provably false. Not opinions, by the way, but actual disinfo. If that were the case, you would be able to make an argument there. If TikTok gets data, China makes a lot of money and power, while Meta, etc., complies with their data laws and keeps the data in American which does what exactly? What is China gonna do with your data? Do you trust the fucking private corporations to not sell your data to whoever the fuck they want? Do you really trust them? Do you think that they really have the best interests of the consumer at heart? Of course they don't. They will sell it to whoever buys it so long as they can fucking get away with it. Either way, I want to watch the next video. So this is from CBS News, all right? And it's called, Can Congress Ban TikTok? Legal Expert Weighs In. It's from 9 days ago. So I just want to hear what this is all about.
Right now, lawmakers are reviewing a bipartisan House bill that could ban TikTok across the nation.
Which is basically what happened, actually, if you can believe that.
House Energy and Commerce Committee is holding a hearing on legislation that would require the popular video sharing app to separate itself from its Chinese-based owner, ByteDance,
which obviously these people know is never going to fucking happen, right? Again, that is what this is entirely contingent upon, legally speaking. So they're not doing this on the basis of trying to make TikTok better. They're trying to ban it. They're trying to have it removed entirely. That is it. That is the entire point.
Or risk being prohibited from app stores in the U.S. Panel members say this hearing is happening in response to growing concerns the Chinese government could access TikTok users' personal information. A woman who uses TikTok to promote her company expressed fears about a potential ban.
It wouldn't kill us tomorrow, but TikTok as a platform has represented a very kind of meaningful and new way that we reach consumers.
Kind of. I don't disagree with this necessarily, but it is mostly slop, let's be real.
TikTok slammed the bill on social media. The company says if enacted, the measure would, quote, trample the First Amendment rights of...
Which is objectively true, by the way. Like, this is just factually correct.
170 million Americans and hurt small businesses. Jessica Levinson joins us now to delve into this for us. As you all should know by now, she's a CBS News contributor and professor for Loyola Law School there in California. Jessica, this is a remarkable one. You know, TikTok says this bill kind of violates freedom of speech.
Objectively true.
How strong a claim is that?
I think at this point, it's a claim that the government could get over, because the question is actually whether or not the First Amendment is even implicated here, in the sense that the government is not required to say that when it comes to all of these different private companies and platforms, that they have to be allowed to operate.
What do you think the purpose of the First Amendment is? Is it allow free speech except for when it comes to social media platforms, in which case actually don't allow free speech? That's an insane position. You have to keep in mind, the First Amendment was written fucking ages ago. So there's some things that are up for interpretation. Keep in mind, right? The First Amendment wasn't written with the TikTok ban in mind. Just keep that in mind. But what you can have in mind is what were the underlying intentions and principles behind the First Amendment and its construction. And if you actually take a look at what those are, then you can make an argument for, oh, here's why this is a violation of the First Amendment. Because it limits freedom of expression, which it objectively does.
First Amendment is really about protecting us from the government saying, don't criticize me, or the government.
You mean things that TikTok is full of is criticisms of the government? You mean like when they criticize Joe Biden for, I don't know, being way too supportive of Israel's fucking genocide against the Palestinians? Shit like that, maybe perhaps, that's on the TikTok platform. The primary mechanism that is used to spread certain information and political arguments like this. Yes, that would be an infringement of that, objectively speaking.
Telling us not to use certain forms of expression. This is a medium. And so if it is such a big medium,
okay, if you remove every single medium or a huge medium that is used as a mechanism through which information is conveyed, then yeah, that is censorship, right?
Such a big public forum that shutting it down does give rise to First Amendment concerns, then we are within the First Amendment. But I would say that's just step one, right? Step two is, can we withstand that ban? Because as you and I know, the First Amendment is not absolute, and you can restrict speech for certain reasons.
This is an entirely nebulous, useless explanation, by the way. You can restrict speech sometimes, sorta, I guess, lol. That's not what fucking argument is that? Oh, the First Amendment isn't absolute. What do you mean not absolute? Oh, it's not absolute. So like the First Amendment is applicable except for sometimes it's like not applicable, which means it's not applicable here. Well, what the fuck are you saying? This is supposed to be a legal expert. What are you talking about? It's not absolute. My fucking ass cheek. My left ass cheek. That's a bad point because why aren't they cracking down on YouTube? Because they don't have any moral consistency. They don't have any moral consistency.
What's also remarkable to me is take a look at what Meta collects on its users of Facebook and Instagram. Take a look.
Exactly. There's no moral consistency here. It is literally them just specifically targeting TikTok because its user base is young. And it tends to be the case that when young people communicate with each other and spread information, they spread ideas that are a lot more left-leaning than the government likes. The government doesn't want the Overton window to shift to the left. They want to maintain the status quo so they can keep doing the same thing without any real pushback. That's what they want.
Look at what Amazon collects for everybody who uses that to shop. There are plenty.
She looks like she's from the Lorax movie. This is true.
Of US-based companies that do all of this data gathering. So on what type of legal grounds can the US demand TikTok make a massive change in separating itself from its parent company, ByteDance?
I think the question is, the way you phrase that is great, because the question really is what's different between Meta, that does collect data about us, and TikTok, which arguably also collects data about us. And the answer is national security concern.
What is the national security concern? How is it a threat to national security? Explain that one.
So we might have privacy concerns when it comes to both companies.
Privacy concerns. What are the concerns? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Post my ID. What are they gonna do? Fucking post my IP address on fucking I'm not gonna say the name of that website, but for those of you who know, you know, the website that Destiny refers to as website 0. All right, what are they gonna do? Post my fucking IP address on website 0? Is that what they're gonna do? What the fuck do you think the Chinese government is gonna do? What is the national security risk? Explain that one.
Now, I would offer that I think the privacy concerns are likely different, but the real difference here is the idea that because TikTok is owned, the allegation is, by basically the Chinese government.
Damn, that's crazy, but what's the national security risk?
That it raises national security concerns.
Okay, what are the national security concerns?
Could try, for instance, to influence the election.
Influence the election? Doesn't every social media platform do that? Holy shit, she's literally saying the quiet part out loud right now. Because it might influence the election. Yeah, no fucking shit. Political speech might influence the election. She literally just said the quiet part out loud. They are censoring it because it might influence politics. That is it. That is the national security concern, is that it will influence politics and political outcomes. That's it. That's the big national security concern. So she just stated outright the quiet part out loud. That is what she just did here. The national security risk is exactly what you said. They don't want young people spreading leftist ideology. Exactly. And she, whether she realizes it or not, she literally just said the quiet part out loud.
Even if they ban this app, can that be enforced?
This is a devil's in the...
Why are you listening to these strawman arguments from fucking boomers? No one cares about these... Because these are the people enacting legislation. These are the arguments that they're making in favor of it. This sets precedent. Yes, they're making dog shit arguments. Yes, you could probably make a better argument as a fucking random ass 19 or 20-year-old against TikTok. Yeah, no fucking shit. But guess what? You're not the one passing legislation or setting precedent. The fucking boomers that I'm arguing against are the ones that are setting precedent. Maybe not the specific legal expert, but these are the arguments that are actually being made by the people passing these laws. Do you not understand why that's a scary fucking precedent? They aren't making these arguments? Really? What arguments are they making in Congress then? Would you like to tell me what those arguments consist of and where I can find them? Or is it the case that you have decided that because these arguments sound bad after I explain why they are retarded, that these are actually different arguments from random boomers? It's actually really good arguments that I'm not going to explain or state or show where you can find that are made by the Congress people that are good. Read previous messages. Okay, wait. Let's see here. It's just regulation of social media algorithms? What? That's not what this is. You're objectively wrong. Saying that we're going to ban you unless you sell the company is not regulating an algorithm. You don't know what you're talking about. What are you saying? They know that they're not going to sell the company. Read all of them. You're arguing against the fucking voices inside your head. This has nothing to do with regulating algorithms. This is literally nothing to do with that. The law isn't you need to change your algorithms or you get banned. That is not the argument. The argument is you need to sell your company to not get banned. That is what they are saying. This has nothing to do with changing the algorithms. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a flying fuck about sorry, I'm fucking spacing out. They don't give a flying fuck about the algorithms. How is banning an entire social media app regulating the algorithm? It's not. It just doesn't make any sense. This might actually be worse than the boomer arguments. Their problem is they think China has more control over the algorithm than they actually might. If you frame it as they don't want leftist ideology to spread, then yeah, that sounds... Well, that's what it is. They literally just said, we don't want it to influence the elections. She said the quiet part out loud. She acknowledges the fact that yes, this objectively does have a very good chance at influencing the outcomes of elections, whether it be local elections or national elections. She literally said the quiet part out loud, which was a huge fucking mistake on her end. Huge mistake. That was incredibly stupid. That was one of the dumbest things she could have said. She should have fucking known better as a quote unquote legal expert. My fucking ass. Legal expert with a fucking obvious political bias. Obvious political bias in favor of conservatism. Let's see here. We have another video that we're going to watch. Okay. So, the next video we're going to be watching is called Congress Supports TikTok Ban, What to Know. So, it's from NBC Bay Area. I want to find out what this is all about.
Well, it could be the beginning of the end for TikTok. Today, the House of Representatives passed a bill that could ban the popular app. Members of Congress on both sides of the aisle worry that TikTok poses a national security threat because...
Oh, really? Would you like to explain what the national security threat is? Or is it just this nebulous threat that sort of vaguely might exist, maybe potentially, who fucking knows? Let's find out.
It's owned by a company based in China. But TikTok...
Oh, that's it? That's it? That's the entire risk? Oh, okay. Right.
TikTok and its users aren't going down without a fight. Here's NBC's Ian Cole.
A showdown is looming for TikTok. Today, the House overwhelmingly passed a bill to force the social media app's Chinese parent company, ByteDance, to sell or face a ban in the U.S. Both parties voicing national security concerns because the Chinese government could access the data of TikTok's 170 million American users.
What the fuck are you saying? Well, like, this is nothing. Also, this edit is really fucking sneaky. This is a really fucking sneaky edit. And I want to point this out because this is really important. Look at this.
Both parties voicing national security concerns because the Chinese government could access
as this structure that clearly represents the government. Could access as this is showing up. They did this deliberately. This is a very fucking sneaky editing tactic, by the way. Maybe I'm overanalyzing this, but there's clearly some sort of emotion that they're trying to invoke here. As literally the fucking government building shows up as they say access. As if they're accessing some sort of national security shit. But then they go on to say
the data of TikTok's 107
the data of the users, like every other company on the face of the earth. Right? So somebody like me might watch this and they're like, oh, okay, well, then there you go. Right? But people that aren't analyzing this are going to have an emotional response to that. That is very fucking deliberate. I'm sorry. Like, this is like these are people that like do this professionally, right?
70 million American users.
If they control the data, the privacy,
what are they controlling? The data, the privacy. You're saying words. This doesn't mean anything. The data and the privacy. What are you talking about?
Of our people, we are at their mercy.
We're at their mercy? What are you saying? Isn't everybody at the mercy of every fucking big tech corporation ever? What are you talking about?
Area representatives were split on it, with members of the No Group saying they want a comprehensive bill on all social media, not just TikTok.
If you want to...
There you go. There you go. Let's replay that. This is important, okay?
Mercy.
Bay Area representatives were split on it, with members of the No Group saying they want a comprehensive bill on all social media, not
a comprehensive bill on all social media to censor everything instead of just TikTok. Yeah. You see what I mean? It does not stop with TikTok. This is why I care about this issue specifically. This is why I care. Because I don't care about TikTok. I don't give a fuck. Fuck TikTok. I hate TikTok. But at the same time, they're going to advocate for more and more censorship over time.
Not just TikTok.
If you want to protect people's data, pass an internet bill of rights to do that.
TikTok creators and
Okay, wait. I think I might have misunderstood that. I think they're making an argument of consistency. Sorry, I think I misinterpreted that. That was my bad.
Users rallied outside the Capitol today, saying they count on it for their businesses.
You will be destroying small businesses.
TikTok has been a really great opportunity for small businesses to engage with a larger
I don't give a shit about the small businesses argument. I care about the political speech argument.
Audience.
Jennifer Lee disagrees with the...
We have more freedom of speech now than at any point in history. Yeah, that's like saying that during the fucking Jim Crow era that we were the freest country in the history of mankind of all time. Yeah, great, incredible. What's your fucking point? It can be better. And if people are advocating for things to become worse, we should advocate against that. You're literally just the biggest defender of the status quo.
Ban as well. You may remember her family's Vietnamese restaurant in Santa Rosa was struggling until her post showing her dad waiting for customers went viral.
And with
okay, I guess the fucking as dumb and irrelevant to the fundamental point as I believe the small businesses argument is, this might actually rhetorically be the better approach to take. Not the better approach, but a good approach. Because this is gonna invoke like emotional reactions of like, holy shit, like this is gonna screw over like small businesses, like the ones that I care about, right? So that might actually be a good rhetorical strategy.
Without this platform, then we probably would have never received the exposure that we needed during such a difficult time.
A TikTok spokesperson today saying the government...
This is all anecdotal, so I don't really care that much, but this is I guess rhetorically this works.
Government is attempting to strip 170 million Americans of their constitutional right to free expression.
This is true.
But San Jose State professor Ahmed Banafa says the fears are warranted because of the information TikTok collects.
Yeah. Which fears?
Contact.
What does it collect that other companies don't?
Collect also the contents of your direct messages, the videos that.
Oh no! What the contents of the direct messages? What are they gonna find? The fucking all of the national secrets? Are they gonna get the fucking codes to all the nuclear warheads that are notoriously stored in TikTok DMs? Is that what's going on here? Or is this literally just a made-up issue?
That you watch and how long you can watch it. Also, they estimate your income, your location is also gathered. This information.
What is TikTok going to do with a random person's location? What are they going to do? Dox them? What are you talking about?
Is a very valuable information.
He also says there are real fears China could try and sway public opinion via the app, especially...
Sway public opinion? This is literally the same argument that the fucking Chinese government makes and that the Russian government makes in favor of having their own isolated fucking bullshit social media platforms that suck ass. Is we don't want the disgusting West, the degenerate Western people to influence the elections. Right? It's the same shit.
During an election year.
So you can see if there's a fake deep video about one of the candidates or some of the incident by the Chinese or by any...
Yeah, there's this grand conspiracy by the Chinese government to spread false information about candidates, even though I can't provide any actual specific examples of this or prove that it was done by the Chinese government explicitly. So, again, just a made-up issue, once again.
Other countries who want to harm the United States.
President Biden said he would sign the bill, but it still has to pass through the Senate, and it's unclear when they will take it up. In Silicon Valley, Ian Cole, NBC Bay Area News.
Joining us this morning, CNBC contributor and The Verge editor-in-chief.
All right. Here's why the U.S. wants to ban TikTok. Let's find out why.
Nilay Patel joins us. Nilay, there's so much we don't know about the Senate's ability to get this on the floor, what information might have been shared during some of these secure briefings. What's your read on this morning?
My read is that TikTok had better figure out how to divest itself, because one way or another, the United States government is going to make sure that China doesn't own a gigantic social media company in the United States. Whether
a gigantic social media company, again, why does this matter so much? This is nothing.
Whether it's this bill, whether it's this president, it feels like the mood on Capitol Hill has shifted. In particular, you mentioned that briefing. I was just at South by Southwest, and word on the street at South by Southwest was that the members of the select committee who saw the secure briefing were utterly convinced by what they saw in that briefing.
Utterly convinced? Okay, convince me then.
And I think as that information gets out and we learn more what happened in there, we're going to see more and more bipartisan support to make sure that the Chinese government doesn't own a massive media distribution platform in the United States.
Which causes harm? Why exactly? Can you explain like the some sort of objective or measurable harm? Or is it this nebulous, the Chinese government is scary, but there's no actual tangible harm here type of arguments? Oh no, they're gonna collect data of random 14-year-olds on TikTok. Oh, big fucking deal, bruv. That's crazy.
I agree with you, though. I think what happens in the Senate is totally unclear.
Do you buy this line from lawmakers that it's not a ban, it's a forced sale that could lead to a ban, or is this
they're not gonna sell it. They know this. They know it's not gonna get sold. That's the whole fucking point. No one who, I'm sorry, is there a non-zero chance it gets sold? Yeah, sure. But any reasonable person knows that it's not likely that it's going to get sold. So they know that it's basically just a ban, functionally speaking. But they're framing it as a forced sale but they know that's bullshit.
At its heart, is it a ban?
Yes, in its way. I mean, I know you call me on CNBC to get wonky and technical, so here I am. The bill regulates the app stores, right? It regulates the infrastructure providers. It names TikTok only to define what kinds of businesses the app stores and infrastructure providers cannot do business with. So the bill doesn't actually directly ban TikTok. It just...
Okay, wait, hold on. I want to replay that. That's actually kind of important.
The bill regulates the app stores, right? It regulates the infrastructure providers.
It regulates the app stores. This is the argument is, well, technically it's not a ban on TikTok. It just removes it from everywhere that you can get the app, which basically functions as a ban on TikTok. But guys, it's not a ban on TikTok, even though functionally it does the same fucking thing as a ban on TikTok. Like, what are you saying?
It names TikTok only to define what kinds of businesses the app stores and infrastructure providers cannot do business with. So the bill doesn't actually directly ban TikTok. It just tells Apple...
It just bans TikTok indirectly and functionally has the same outcome. Like, what do you... Yes, they used the law in a very roundabout way. Because if they directly did the thing that they set out to do in terms of directly obtaining that outcome, it wouldn't be legal, right? So they found a roundabout loophole way of doing the same thing functionally as banning it, right?
And other infrastructure providers, you can't have TikTok here. Okay, so that means TikTok can sell itself. I think there's enough money on the line from both domestic and foreign investors in TikTok to say, okay, we've got to make sure we protect our capital, our investment. We've got all these users. We're making all this money. We should get out of this definition of foreign adversary controlled application.
I highly fucking doubt it. I don't think that they're going to sell it. Like, this is a very US-centric approach. Yeah, no, because the USA is everything. They're not going to sell the fucking company. It doesn't magically stop becoming profitable. When everybody around the rest of the world... The US is not the entire world, my guy. Yes, a lot of the user base is going to be from the US, but this is not a good argument for, yeah, this is gonna... The US is not the whole world.
And make sure we can still do business with that.
What's going on here? Don't worry, we're just talking about the whole TikTok ban. Why, hello, regardless.
Apple and the other providers in the United States that we need. So it is not directly a ban. That is technically accurate.
It's a ban. It's just a ban. Just straight up. Just call it what it is.
If TikTok remains in Chinese control, yeah, it's going to get banned because all these companies in the United States.
You mean like the only realistic outcome, which is what's going to happen, which it gets banned? What are you saying?
Are not allowed to do business with it.
So a very significant roadblock, perhaps. Neil, I'm curious, because this is all happening while Reddit is on its roadshow, a social media company as well, meeting with investors. They say that their content moderation is kind of multi-layered and that they have a lot of self-policing within their various communities, as well as some overarching rules that kind of define what's acceptable or not acceptable on their platform. Obviously, Reddit is U.S.-based, largely U.S.-owned.
This is true, I guess.
But do you think there are any implications for Reddit as we think about maybe the potential ad gains that they could get from this, but also the increased attention on Capitol Hill in terms of content?
Why is this a Reddit specific thing? Why Reddit? Why not just large social media platforms broadly? Why specifically Reddit? I don't understand this. Maybe I'm missing something, but I'm not sure why she's specifically talking about Reddit. Like, this would just cause the other existing large social media platforms to be able to monopolize a little bit more easily. That's all this does, right? It limits free expression and allows large corporations to be even more monopolistic. I don't know what the word would be. Google and Meta are probably behind this. No, I don't think so. But it definitely doesn't help that
and on these platforms, moderation on these platforms, and just the overall risk of regulation that's facing social media right now?
Yeah, I think Reddit has a market opportunity here, as does YouTube, as do
all of the other massive corporations that are going to monopolize inevitably. You know, the thing that happens when like a huge fucking void is left in the fucking market? Yeah. No shit, Sherlock. Astute observation.
Meta, right? Donald Trump famously said, I don't want to ban TikTok because it will help Meta. There's an opportunity to take
Why is this a rare Donald Trump W? What the fuck is this?
market share away from
Outfit check. All right, I'll do a fit check. Just cuz why not? I think I already did one earlier. It's the same outfit I was wearing on my other live stream earlier today cuz I'm pulling an all-nighter, okay? I woke up, I streamed for 12 hours. I've stayed awake. All right? I stayed true to my word. Cute. Aw, thank you. Pretty. Thank you very much. Anyways, someone seems salty about the potential power vacuum. Ayo.
from TikTok here. And TikTok has really dominated the headlines in terms of where users are going, especially young users are going. The interesting thing about the regulatory piece is that the
Have you watched Femboy Fishing yet? I have not.
United States government cannot pass speech regulations against Reddit and Meta and Google because they're U.S. companies. They have First Amendment rights. But it is.
Okay, that's an interesting argument. So I guess the argument, okay, because they're American companies, they have First Amendment rights. Is that... That could actually be a good counter argument. I'll have to think about that one. That's the first good counter argument I've heard thus far. Is yeah, okay. He might actually have a point there. Are you from the USA? You better believe I am. Now I need to pee, so I'm gonna play a video from I don't know, the Young Turks. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with a video from let's see. President Uyghur and Anna the Birthing Person Kasparian, okay? That's what we're gonna go with. Alright, let's see here.
It's not an attempt to ban TikTok. It's an attempt to make TikTok better. Tic-tac-toe, a winner.
Oh god, that's so fucking cringe. Kill me now. Oh no. That is awful. It's not an attempt to ban TikTok, even though that's literally the outcome that everybody knows is gonna fucking happen. Like, what are you talking about? Not a ban on TikTok, my fucking ass.
This is not...
I need to pee, so TYT is kind of a joke. Yeah, but I just want to hear what they have to say.
An attempt to ban TikTok. It's an attempt to make TikTok better. Tic-tac-toe, a winner. A winner.
Got it. All right. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi isn't the only member of Congress who thinks a possible TikTok ban in the United States would actually make the social media platform better? Now, the House overwhelmingly passed legislation today that could eventually lead to app stores banning TikTok, with 352 lawmakers voting in favor and only 65 voting against the bill. And while everyone loses their minds over this for various reasons, understand that the legislation will likely fail in the Senate. More on that later. But first, we should get into the details on what the House just passed and later get into the moneyed interest behind this agenda. Here's what lawmakers have been allegedly concerned about even before President Joe Biden came into office.
Here's the crux of the debate. TikTok's US headquarters is in California, but it is controlled by a larger company, ByteDance, headquartered in Beijing. ByteDance also owns a separate but parallel Chinese version of TikTok called Douyin. The Communist Party has a small stake in that and a big voice, with a Communist Party official sitting on the board. A ByteDance whistleblower has charged that the Communist Party uses Douyin for spying on protesters and others. The concern is that there's a path for the Communist Party to access US data. TikTok claims no, that it has walled off US data.
So, in response to those concerns, the House...
Well, firstly, I want to respond before Anna, the Birthing Person Kasparian, responds, okay? What I have to say is obviously more important. Shut up, woman. You're a poopy head. Anyways, where was I going? What's your pronouns? I use any and all, but I have a slight preference for she, her. Hell yeah. Anyways, sorry, my hair's a fucking mess. Yeah, in terms of this concern or whatever the hell, where was I? Right, yeah, it's bad that they were, like, spying on protesters, but those are protesters in their own country. Like, obviously that's wrong. Like, we all know that corporations are evil. This is nothing new. Like, I've been saying this for fucking ages. But again, this has nothing to do with, like, a national security threat for the US. It's like, yeah, they're gonna do this shit domestically. That's what the Chinese government does. No shit. But what exactly are they gonna spy? What are they gonna do? Fucking kill people or make them disappear if they're protesting the Chinese government on American TikTok? Of course not. That's insane. You ripped off your ears? I reattached them, don't you worry. Oh god. Let's continue.
Finally succeeded in passing a bill that would force ByteDance to sell TikTok to a non-Chinese company. If they failed to do so, that's when a ban would theoretically kick in. Now,
So basically, just objectively, what's going to happen?
According to the Washington Post, the House measure explicitly targets TikTok and its parent company while giving the federal government a new mechanism to ban apps with ties to nations viewed as foreign adversaries. If ByteDance declined to spin off TikTok within 6 months, the bill would require App Store providers to stop carrying the platform, which could effectively shutter its US operations.
Yeah, so it seems to be the case that again, first of all, they're creating a new mechanism through which they ban platforms deemed as foreign adversaries. So, okay, deemed as a foreign fuck. Okay, if it's deemed as foreign adversaries, by what standard? By what standard? I don't know. I'd have to think about this as well. Like, what standard would they use for that? Again, I'm not a fan of them banning a company like that. It's just decreasing the competition, whatnot, right? Again, I'm not in favor of capitalism, or like, I don't give a shit about corporations. But again, if we live in a capitalist system, the last thing we want to do is make it so that there's less corporations and that there's just like a few really powerful ones. That is the complete opposite of what you want, right? Yeah. This is just awful. Favorite Bald Marvin moment? Wait, you mean Bald Martin? This is kind of boring. I'm sorry, Angel Dust. I'm a political streamer sometimes, okay? Don't you worry. I'm trying my best here, okay? I'm trying my best to make this not boring, okay? I'll try harder, okay? Don't you worry. I'm gonna be more engaging, okay? Chat, what do I do to be more engaging in political streams like these? Because that's the thing, is I don't want to be... People have said that I'm way more entertaining than Vosh, but at the same time, it's because I feel like I cover more of like the drama side of stuff than the political side a lot of the time. And then like the politics stuff just like comes out every once in a while, right? So I don't know. Let's continue.
By the way, does anyone else find it kind of hilarious that we're hyper-focused on banning this social media site or app when a lot of our businesses are still exploiting labor in China? Like, we're treating China as an adversary while still exploiting their labor. Just something to...
Yeah, exactly. No, this is objectively correct from Anna Kasparian. I completely agree with her. It's like, it's not a matter of now, obviously this is a little bit of false equivalency, because if we're using their labor, like their labor does not translate to a national security risk in according to the logic of the people that would be in favor of banning TikTok, right? So it's going to be the case that in terms of the national security aspect of it, right, or whatever that may be, the private information or whatever, like they wouldn't be gaining any information on anything, on any American citizens or anything like that, right? So they wouldn't be having access to that. So that would sort of be like the symmetry breaker there. So I guess that'd be like the counter argument to that, right?
Keep in mind. But anyway, there was a ton of trial and error on the path to where we are today, but a bipartisan group of politicians were apparently reinvigorated by President Biden, never thought I'd say that, declaring that he would sign a TikTok ban into law if a bill ever made its way to his desk. So Representatives Mike Gallagher, a Republican from Wisconsin, and Raja Krishnamurthy, who's a Democrat from Illinois, they're the leaders of the Select Committee on China. They previously introduced another bill targeting TikTok, which was stymied amid constitutional concerns. The Commerce panel greenlit the bill led by them 50-0 just last week, advancing it just 2 days after its introduction.
Damn, if only they could pass bills that are actually useful at this rate. Wouldn't that be nice if they, I don't know, introduced things like healthcare or like anything that's actually worthwhile?
Unheard of pace for legislation targeting tech companies. Yeah,
I love this doesn't affect me too, yeah. I'm glad it doesn't affect me, but at the same time, I'm just fundamentally opposed to the whole, I don't know, fucking censorship thing. More bussy talk, is that so? I don't know. Look, I'm just against censorship, okay? I think censorship is bad. I don't like it, okay? I am against it. I have no idea why I'm still here. This is kind of an echo chamber. How is this an echo chamber? Literally, I am more than willing to argue with you in the free marketplace of ideas. That's kind of the point. I don't see how this is a fucking echo chamber. This is like watching news. I mean, that is basically what TYT is, kind of. I don't fucking know. What do you want? Okay, what? Okay, Chat. I'm learning this together. Okay, we're gonna learn this together, okay? I'm good at talking politics, right? You've seen me talk about politics in like the live shorts feed or whatever the hell, and I do a fairly good job. You would agree with that, right? I totally agree with that, myself, personally. What do I need to do to cover the news in a way that doesn't suck? That doesn't feel like news? Because if I'm learning about this, it's like, okay, I'm learning from people that are like, that's kind of boring, right? Look, I find it interesting, but like, I want to be able to present it in a way that doesn't suck. You know what I mean? I'm interested in the material in of itself, but I want to be able to present it in a way where people that aren't necessarily interested in the material are able to enjoy it, right? Like, if you enjoy listening to me speak, for instance, like, I guess that'd be like the main mechanism through which I achieve that, right? I hope. I thought banning TikTok was insane when Trump wanted to do it. Now Biden does the same thing. You do it fine currently. Is that so? Like, I just don't want to be, I don't want to be boring. You know what I mean? From the little moist critical I've watched, shitposting is the best way to make everything funny / engaging, I guess. But that's the thing is, like, usually it's like the complete opposite for me. I do like a reverse moist critical where it's like, it looks like I'm about to shitpost, but then I do some like insanely in-depth analysis, but then I do it in a way that's entertaining. But I think it's because it's on the fly. Whereas if I plan it out ahead of time, it doesn't work. I don't know. That would make me laugh for no reason. What would? I'm sorry. Read more books and to be able to make more connections? Is that so? We might do a live stream where we read the entire communist fucking the Communist Manifesto out loud on stream, okay? We might do that.
It's, I mean, an unheard of pace for legislation targeting any company, really, especially in the modern American era where legalized bribery is just baked into our system. And by the way, prior to today's vote, TikTok engaged in a serious pressure campaign that clearly failed to persuade lawmakers to back off.
No fucking shit, Sherlock. Astute observation. Sorry.
TikTok mounted an aggressive push to thwart the House's consideration.
Yeah, obviously they don't give a shit. Like, what the fuck is TikTok gonna do? You think they have any power? Of course not.
Of the measure over the past week, directly urging US users to contact their representatives and oppose it in a pop-up message.
As you can tell, it worked out wonderfully. It was very effective, obviously.
The tactic inundated congressional offices with calls, at times forcing offices to shut off their phones.
Okay, honestly, kind of based. That's actually pretty based, not gonna lie.
But it also riled up House leaders who accused the company of wielding its vast power in a bid to upend the congressional debate over its future.
Yeah, okay, and obviously this is fucking stupid. It's literally just another anti-free speech. How dare you defend your right to exist? I can't believe you would do that. How could you do such a thing? And with causing people to use our publicly available phone numbers to voice their grievances. I can't believe that.
In addition, a spokesperson for China argued that the
Femboy Reads Communist Manifesto would be an awesome video title. Hell yeah.
The ban is really about American companies rigging the market to their advantage because the chumps just can't compete.
Even though the US has not found evidence on how TikTok endangers its national security.
This is true, by the way. They have not presented a single good argument for the actual objective and measurable harm, the standard that I've been a massive proponent of consistently. This is a never-ending, never-changing thing for me. But it seems to be the case that, but it's scary. There's a national security threat that's extremely nebulous, and I can't actually point to any specific examples of this being something that causes harm, but I'm just going to vaguely allude to it.
It has never stopped going after TikTok. Such practice of resorting to acts of bullying, when one could not succeed in fair competition, disrupts the normal operation of the market. It undermines the confidence of international investors and sabotages the global economic and trade order. This will eventually backfire on the US itself.
A lot of mainstream.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about any of that. I just care about it being a free speech issue. That's what I care about. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, not gonna lie. I mean, I do, but like, I don't know. I don't feel like explaining it. It's retarded.
Media don't give you honest news. We do. You know why? Because of you. Paid membership on YouTube makes all the difference. Hit the join button
I don't give
below,
a shit.
And you become the hero that
Shut
sustains
up.
us.
Look, the
I'm
reality
gonna shove a fucking dildo up your ass.
Is that both things could be true. ByteDance is in fact based in Beijing, and it is not far-fetched for the Chinese government to demand access to the data of American TikTok users. I also have a
Again, it's literally what every single fucking company that's a social media company does. Every company does this. Like, oh God, I can't believe that TikTok would do the same fucking thing that literally every other company that's a social media company on the face of the earth does. Wow, that's so scary. We better ban that. That would be so bad to have the thing that every other corporation does.
Problem with US-based companies collecting our data and selling it to third parties, which includes advertisers and data brokers.
And exactly. And where the fuck do you think that information goes? It goes wherever the fuck they want it to. It goes wherever the fuck the money is. Do you think that that's never gonna get out there? Again, this is why you just, I don't know, don't put national security risks or anything that's like a national fucking secret on fucking TikTok. But I feel like that doesn't really happen. People don't do that. And if they did it on another social media website, it doesn't magically become less of a national security threat. If, let's say, they were DMing on Twitter, national security, like, I'm sorry, but what would the difference be between I don't know, posting the codes to the nuclear warheads on Twitter, in Twitter DMs versus TikTok DMs be? Realistically. No matter what, that shit's gonna get out there. I'm sorry, but that's just objectively true. That information is gonna get sold, and yeah, no, that's fucking insane.
This is part of the reason why everyone's personal information.
I don't care about the theoretical risk. Yeah, me neither. It's all this fucking nebulous, oh, but what if this bad thing that's never happened because the company in question is doing the same fucking thing that every single other social media company on the face of the earth does? Wow, wouldn't that just be crazy? Oh my God, guys, we better ban this very spooky, scary company.
Including phone numbers and addresses, is relatively easy to find. It's also true that moneyed interests and TikTok's competitors, like Meta, were lobbying hard for the ban.
Oh, you better believe they were. Again, at the end of the day, it's just another example of companies trying to monopolize and also free speech being minimized. I mean, we already know this.
So back in March of 2022, the Washington Post published an exclusive piece titled "Facebook Paid GOP Firm to Malign TikTok." The firm target.
You clearly don't understand the security risk. What is the risk? Point to an objective and measurable harm. A foreign superpower having access to our phones is fairly bad when it comes to our security. What is it going to do with the information? What information does it have that's so important? That's so important that it's a national security risk. What is so important that it must remain exclusive to the other social media companies that will sell your information to whoever the fuck they want, as opposed to a company that's run by the Chinese government that does exactly the same fucking thing as American governments? What's the difference? The algorithm is dangerous because Red China. This is true.
Victory pushed local operatives across the country to boost messages calling TikTok a threat to American children. So fascinating piece, you should totally read it.
Yeah, it's literally just we need to protect the kids uwu talking point. Anytime you hear anybody say that we need to protect the kids, just assume that they're lying. Just assume they don't actually give a fuck about what they're talking about and that they're just using that as an emotional talking point to get people to turn their brains off and go into fucking monkey ooh-ooh-ah-ah mode and say, yeah, this thing is bad. We need to protect the children.
And in the piece, why don't we read a few excerpts for you? In the piece, readers learn that Meta paid targeted Victory to launch an anti-TikTok campaign that included, and get a load of this, placing op-eds and letters to the editor in major regional news outlets, promoting dubious stories about alleged TikTok trends that actually originated on Facebook, and pushing to draw political reporters and local politicians into helping take down its biggest competitor.
Wow, isn't that crazy? It's almost as if it doesn't actually have anything to do with minimizing objective or measurable harm, and it has everything to do with, oh, I don't know, a bullshit, completely self-interested political movement run by fucking lobbyists, the wealthy elites, the fucking politicians that are in power that just want to maintain the status quo, etc.
dirty. Employees with targeted victory worked to undermine TikTok through a nationwide media and lobbying campaign, portraying the fast-growing app as a danger to American children and society.
Yeah, once again, anytime they bring up the children, ooh, but think of the children, ooh, woo, you know they're bullshitting. Like, just ignore anything that they say because they probably don't have an actual fucking argument. You can just disregard. As soon as they bring up the American children, you could just disregard anything that they say from that point on. Like, just don't even fucking bother consuming the information. Just fucking disregard it immediately because you know it's bullshit.
According to internal emails shared with the Washington Post.
The chat is more funny than you today, friend? What do you mean?
One of the directors of this firm that Facebook had hired, or Meta had hired, wrote in an email in February of 2022 saying that targeted victory needs to get the message out that while Meta is the current punching bag, TikTok is the real threat, especially as a foreign-owned app is #1 in sharing data that young teens are using.
Proportional to each young teen? Or is it just that there are more young teens using the app, so there's more data being shared from young teens because there's more of them? That's kind of an important distinction to make.
When asked about, their decision to pay a right-wing firm to attack its competitor, a spokesperson for Meta didn't even deny it, saying, quote, "We believe all platforms, including TikTok, should face a level of scrutiny consistent with their growing success."
Yeah, that's also a load of shit. Like, this has nothing to do with success.
With a Meta-backed firm planting stories about the national security threat TikTok poses to the US, it's way harder to determine whether a TikTok ban has any real merit. But there's money working on the other side.
Oh, it's easy to determine. The answer is no, it doesn't have any merit.
Side of this debate too. We learned earlier that former President Donald Trump, who once tried to ban TikTok through executive order before getting blocked by the courts, is now suddenly against the ban.
Yes, because he's a contrarian. He doesn't actually believe anything. He'll just do whatever the fuck makes him appear to be aesthetically anti-establishment. He has no actual beliefs or real political positions. It's just contrarianism.
Looks like the former president took a dip in the swamp. A lobbyist Trump is extremely familiar with is Kellyanne Conway. Turns out that the former senior Trump aide is being paid by the conservative Club for Growth to advocate for TikTok in Congress. In fact, she met with lawmakers on Capitol Hill to chat about the app at least 10 times in recent months. But that's likely not the only reason Trump had a change of heart on this TikTok ban.
I mean, again, he just doesn't believe anything. I genuinely believe that the main motivating factors for him are money and applause, okay? His narcissism is everything. That fuels his entire worldview. That's it. He doesn't believe anything. He has no actual positions. He's a fucking ideological black hole. He doesn't believe anything.
Reports that billionaire investor and Club for Growth donor
Trump is an empty suit who will say anything and stands for nothing. Exactly.
Yas holds a 15% stake in TikTok's parent company, ByteDance. Club for Growth leaders have been vocal opponents of moves to ban TikTok. Club for Growth president David McIntosh has been in meetings on the Hill with Conway about the issue, according to one of the people familiar with the meetings. Former President Donald Trump praised Yas as fantastic when they were both at a Club for Growth retreat.
Yeah, this is fucking boring. I just don't care. This sucks. Why is Anna Kasparian so fucking boring? I don't know. Smash like if you agree, if you think she's boring. I think she's boring. God damn. I don't know. It just be like that. Whatever. What can I say? Do I end stream? I don't fucking know. This sucks. Maybe I just don't have a proper attention span. I genuinely don't know. Let's see here. The problem with banning TikTok from Vox.
Okay, Justin, I want to start with an experiment where we swap TikTok login information to see just how different our feeds actually are.
I don't know what it's going to reveal about me.
I do wonder how different it's going to be.
That's a good question. I hope I don't get copyrighted for this. I have no idea.
Nurse turns into a hot lady.
Okay, so I just got literally the male version of that on yours. Look.
Okay, what does this have to do with banning TikTok? Get to the point, please.
Oh my god.
Male nurse, female nurse.
Okay.
Just there's so many animals on yours.
List of underrated horror movies. I would never.
What does this have to do with anything?
I've never seen this.
I don't care.
Yeah, I think TikTok recognized that I would prefer a funny version of this.
Yes, that is how the algorithm works. Congratulations, astute observation.
Because it recognized that I share a sense of humor with this person in Indonesia.
TikTok's frictionless personalization is what made the app an instant success around the world. But now that global success is crashing into international politics, putting TikTok in the middle of a worldwide battle over how open the internet should be.
This is true. This is true, objectively.
President Trump threatening to ban TikTok in the United States as Microsoft is hoping to acquire it.
I think Chinese tech companies traditionally have really struggled to get a cultural foothold in the US because the culture is just so different.
I mean, it's all algorithmic, right? Oh, shit. This was from 3 years ago. I'm retarded. This shit boring as hell. What do you want me to do? You're not you just have not embraced the existential nihilism of it all. After that, it's all fun. Damn. I just look. I don't fucking care about this shit anymore. This is boring. I think that Angel Dust might be right. Back to mommy dummy. Is that true? Don't end stream. Okay, I won't end stream. Okay, okay, if we're talking about the TikTok ban, how do I make it more entertaining? I'm sorry, but all of the content I've gathered is fucking boring. I'm sorry. And by that I'm not trying to like diss them, but it's like this is not like a good mechanism through which I should convey information, right? Because like otherwise I have to do like a very serious, not very fun stream, if that makes sense. And I don't want to do that. Flip them off whenever you hear something you don't. But that's boring. That doesn't make it more fun. I feel like me yelling at them is the best thing that we can do. I don't know. You could switch topics. I guess I could do that. You show select TikToks and lampoon it's supposed evil. I guess I could do that. That's actually not a bad idea. Switch topics? Okay. I might just end stream and do a different stream. That's entirely possible. I can talk about multiple topics, fun fact. Anyways, I might do another short stream. It's politics, it's supposed to be boring. Yeah, but I want it to be fun. I'm trying to appeal to, like, normies. You know what I mean? I want to be able to get into politics, right? Because there have been... Okay, look. Here's the thing, right? Is I've talked about politics in my short streams. It's just very brief and surface level, right? Like, I don't go as much in depth, I guess is the main categorical distinction there, right? It's very... It's not even surface level entirely. Like, I have gone somewhat in depth, right? It's more surface level than something that I do in, like, a more normal stream, I guess. But it's definitely political a lot of the time. And I feel like there has to be a way that I can hone that into, like, regular form content that's successful. I just don't know what it is yet. I'm just not sure how I can retain an audience doing that, right? I feel like that's sort of like the most difficult thing to do. You can invite me on stream to talk about my experience with conservatives. Yeah, I don't know. Thank you for trying to fill the Vosh void sincerely. Of course. I mean, that is basically what I'm trying to do, right? Is fill the Vosh void. And I don't know if I'm doing well at that, right? I mean, some people say that Vosh is boring too. Some people have said that I'm way more entertaining in terms of how I cover politics, right? And even the way that I cover politics isn't always going to be the most entertaining. It's really difficult, right? I don't want to dramatize something or make a huge deal out of nothing, right? There's a reason why I over-exaggerated the title, of course. You should do streams rebutting right-wing talking points. It can help change people. That's probably a good idea. That's kind of like what Hunter Avalon does. Changes people's minds, yeah. Thank you for trying to figure out how to make this not boring. Yeah, that's the thing, is now that I have more normies in my audience, I feel like I have, like, a better mechanism through which I can achieve that, right? Because, like, at the end of the day, I normally stream to a very select few group of people that specifically watch this type of content, right? But I want to do something more, I don't know, aesthetically popular, if that makes sense. Something that the average person can watch and be like, yeah, that's entertaining, that's funny, that's fun to watch, I care about this, etc. Right? And I don't really know how to do that at this point in time. Watch the link, it might be a good topic. Okay. Should I be scared?
Let's talk about your cable lace award.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does, why is it doing what it's doing. Get it out of my face.
I'm scared.
What about buttered sausage?
That's not your jam. It's not your thing. You don't like it?
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
I'm scared.
Let's talk about your cable Ace award.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. What about buttered sausage?
What am I supposed to say?
It's not your jam. It's not your thing. You don't like it?
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
I'm fucking scared. What am I supposed to say here? I genuinely have no idea. What do I say, chat?
Let's talk about your cable Ace award.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. What about
It's deep fake? Is that okay? That's why it's so unsettling. Femyoz loves sausage. I have no idea. Yeah, what the fuck is this? End stream and make a normal vid, like when you read comments and make funny jokes. I guess I could do that. So you mean like one of the short streams? Do you like those better? Are those just more entertaining or something?
Buttered sausage.
It's not your jam. It's not your thing. You don't like it?
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I.
What's interesting is this is my normal content. Keep in mind, the other stuff I do is technically not the normal content. It's becoming the normal content because it's so successful. But here's the thing. This is my normal content. This is what I normally do. Normally, I cover more drama-oriented stuff, so I guess it's like a little bit better, but like still. I'm a very serious person who only likes serious things. Well, goddamn. I don't know how to make something like this comedic. What do I... Cute flustered stream? I don't know. Those... I can't force that, though. I don't know. I might do one of those, I don't know, YouTube Shorts live stream type thingies. After this. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see where it goes. Yeah? Alright. Yeah. A part of it is because it's also, like, I pulled an all-nighter, right? So, like, keep in mind, like, I don't know if it's because I'm lower on energy. Debate chatters. I could do that. We prefer sub content. Hell yeah, I guess. I mean, I still watch Vosh, but I watch this because you interact with chat. Fair enough, CJ Wolf. I mean, fair enough. Cute flustered. I don't know. Do I do cute flustered stream? I don't know. Yeah. Why were you up at 1 a.m. the other day? Cause I've been awake since the nighttime yesterday. I didn't sleep at all. I just streamed instead. I don't know. Maybe this content isn't the best for the channel. I don't know. This might have been a bad idea. Look, here's the thing, okay, chat? I'm gonna be completely real with you. I don't know what direction to take this channel in. Yes, I've been doing really well with like the chill femboy stream type content, but I don't even know what that is. That was so unintentional. That was like a weird niche that I accidentally fulfilled. I don't know what I don't know what I even did. Just throw shit at the wall like me. I mean, I guess that's basically what I did, but look, I want to be successful, right? I want to do stuff that retains lots of concurrence, right? This obviously ain't it, right? This isn't going to do it. The more drama-oriented content was starting to do it to an extent. The chill femboy streams really do well. I don't fucking know why. I pull my community using my tab. I guess I could do that. You said you wanted your own niche. This is true. But I want to discover what that niche that works for me is. And the chill femboy streams are basically my niche at this point. But I don't know. What you're really selling is your personality. The topic's kind of secondary to me. Yeah, you're right. Holy shit, you're right. I feel like I can take advantage of that. You're so right. Holy fuck. No, you're actually spot on. Holy fuck. I think you just cracked it. Look. This not doing as well, right? This 49k views because I'm in the fucking thumbnail. It's about me. Same thing here. Obviously, those are short streams. Kevfuls, Vosh, and Tipster. That's interesting because the topic is interesting and it's adjacent to me, right? This did well. I don't know why the fuck this did well. I have no idea. Yeah, but it's not always about whether or not I'm in the thumbnail, though. But, like, all my most... Not all my most popular things have me in the thumbnail, though. That's the thing. Actually, yeah, they do at this point. But aside from the newer stuff, they don't all have me in the thumbnail. Some of them do. I don't know. Look, I don't know what I'm doing. 2.5K-ish new subs in a week. Hell yeah. Personality is what makes each of us watchable. I guess you're right. I'm not a fan of chill femboy streams because it just feels fake. How does it feel fake? Do I feel more real? I don't know. And yeah, I think that there's a good point being made in chat. Yeah, I am selling my personality at the end of the day, right? And I guess you wouldn't be able to tell that just by looking at the fucking title and thumbnail, right? Like if nobody that watches me cares about this, but they care about my personality, right? Then I have to make this very personality oriented, right? What do I do? Ah, fuck. I just don't know how to translate it directly to politics yet. I think that's the main issue I'm struggling with, is I can't translate it properly to politics. Pretty sure the chill femboy streams are popular because of thirsty people and spam bots. This is true to an extent. But it's also because of my personality. This is what I've done as a means of garnering more viewers, right? Hell, that was the thing is, like in terms of the Keffels, Backstabs, Vosh, and Tipster stream, that averaged more concurrent viewers than this. That was averaging more concurrent viewers than I normally got. And I think the reason behind that was simply because it was talking about a topic that was very, I guess it allowed me to show my personality a lot because whatever, I'm shitting on Keffels, and maybe that's similar to me shitting on people that dislike me or whatever the hell. Create thumbnails with both you and the topic both being featured. I guess I could do that. I just don't want to clutter the thumbnails too much, if that makes sense. Right? I thought this was a pretty good look at the TikTok debacle. You shouldn't ask me if you want many viewers. Yeah, I think that's the issue, right? Is the concurrent viewer count speaks for itself, right? And again, personality is what makes each of us watchable, though. I mean, I just agree with... I agree a lot, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know how to make this personality oriented. I mean, we haven't lost concurrence, right? All of the people watching this probably don't give that much of a shit about the TikTok ban, in all honesty. Maybe they do. They probably give more of a shit about me, right? You're passionate in your opinion about those people probably helps. I think you're right. It's me being passionate. That's the symmetry breaker, is whether or not I'm passionate. You're so right. Whether or not I'm passionate, and that's why you're so right. All of my most popular content is shit I was passionate about. You are so right. You are so right. The Voss stuff, I was passionate as fuck about. Debating H8 Live, that was a huge thing for me. All the chill femboy streams, very passionate about. Right? How are you just realizing this now? I've noticed it in the back of my mind, but like, I thought that it was a matter of whether or not the content itself was interesting. I thought it had nothing to do with me. I thought that I was merely an outlet to express certain content that people care about on the basis of that content, I guess. I didn't know that people actually cared about my personality. I mean, they do and they don't, right? It makes it fun to watch to an extent, but I thought it was about the actual subject material, if that makes sense. I didn't think that me being passionate had all that much to do with it, other than me making it more entertaining. But I don't know. My talent is making things understandable. Yeah, I don't know. It takes a few months of doing this to find strength, but I've been doing this for like over a year now. I just don't know what my strength truly is or isn't. I mean, that's half the battle, half the other half is being charismatic enough to attract people to watch. Yeah, and I feel like the second half of the battle is the one that I've been doing better at, is being charismatic enough to attract new viewers. I've been doing that a lot. You are the stream, hun. Just let the passion shine through. Yeah, and I guess that's what I'm doing to an extent, right? I mean, I don't know. That's the thing, is even though the title and the thumbnail is about fucking the TikTok ban and political shit. I haven't lost viewers from talking about myself. And that's really interesting. That's really fucking interesting. I don't know why that is. Call it femboy interviews, something, something. Just talk to random commentary channels and do interviews. I mean, I could do that, but I don't know if I'd be passionate about that. I might be to an extent. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to find out what I truly am good at here. I don't know. I know that I have some sort of talent, but I don't know what that is. Variety is the spice of life. Yes and no. I don't want my channel to be a random clusterfuck, right? And I feel like that's kind of what it is to an extent. I mean, you like yelling at people. This is true. This is true. I do enjoy that quite a bit. I enjoy yelling at you guys sometimes, actually. If you can believe that. I don't know. Variety is the spice of life. Otherwise, you niche. I guess. You're in college, right? You better believe I am. You better believe I am. But that's not like... Look, I don't know. The TikTok thing should be running shop on the algo right now. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like my political content doesn't do as well. I think the issue is I'm like very Gen Z entertainment brained. So the issue with that is instead of it playing to two strengths of mine, it plays to my weaknesses instead. I think that might be the issue. Is you should do a change my mind. That could be a good idea. I don't know. But I feel like this plays to my weaknesses where it's like, this doesn't attract Gen Z people because it's like, oh, it's like, I don't know. I feel like the thumbnail should, but it definitely doesn't attract like people that are like more like boring politics brained, if that makes sense. Like where it's like they just want to watch the news or some shit, right? Like it's not gonna attract them either. But then like the people that it supposedly would attract don't care about the subject material. So all I have to go off of is my personality, which is great and all, but like new viewers, why would they give a shit about my personality if they're just discovering this for the first time, right? So I have to do something really fucking special to sell myself. I don't know. Femboy is based. You better believe I am. If you're trying to get people involved in politics, what's better than going right to the source? What do you mean going right to the source? If I'm watching politics, I want to see a white... Hey, yo! Stop this right now. No. Stop it. I think that what I need to do is I need to find... I don't know. Something that works, that I know will continue to work. I can't guarantee that the showing up in people's shorts feeds will work forever, right? I need to be able to do regular old live streams and have them work. The femboy sass is the secret sauce? I guess so. It didn't even take one stream for you to question what you wanted to do with your channel. This is true. This is true. There is no working forever. The internet changes fast. Exactly. And that's why I need multiple mechanisms through which I can be successful and maintain an audience, right? Because at some point, whatever the fuck I'm doing right now is going to stop working. So I need to find other stable means of maintaining an audience. And I don't know what that is yet. I don't know. Shorts will 100% not work forever. Exactly. That's why I need to do long form stuff as well, right? I don't know. Maybe I should do like a few long form, or sorry, not long form. I guess it's all long form, but like a few streams like this where the title is Chill Femboy Stream, but like the main difference is it doesn't show up in people's shorts feeds, but I don't know what that would... You could also invest in traditional videos. I mean, I've done that to an extent. It doesn't do nearly as well. I'm trying to gain like an active, loyal, live audience. Throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. I mean, isn't that not what I'm doing? I'm just saying. You were caught horny on main last stream? Shut up. That's true, but I don't... Shut up. Maybe you could collab with Jalen and get some of her audience. Oh, wait. What are you trying to imply here? What are you trying to imply? But yeah, like, that's the thing is... Okay, I think I figured out that the main reason people stick around is they want to see me. Which sounds like I'm stroking myself off, but I genuinely thought it was not anything related to me until my most recent streams, and I guess this has been the main way for me to try and disprove that, but it's not. I've disproven myself, if anything. People stick around for me, I think. And I genuinely believe that, and I don't know how to feel about that. We're all chasers. This is true. You're obviously interesting, discuss life topics, femboy/trans life, and just get the audience to know who you are. It will work. Is it that easy? Do I just talk about myself? And is that not at all? Facts, homie, pitched a tent. I guess. I mean, that's the thing is, I mean, hell, if the topic was the thing that people were interested in, the concurrence would have gone down by now, but it's stayed the same. It's staying around like the 20 concurrence mark. So it's not a matter of the subject material I talk about that matters. In fact, if anything, that only acts as a deterrent from people watching me, right? So like if people see this title and thumbnail, they'll have no reason to know it's got anything to do with me other than the channel name, right? And if I'm talking about the title and thumbnail, then people are going to be like, okay, well, fuck that. That's boring, right? Whereas this retains more audience retention, I think. I mean, it is higher than it's been before. Yeah, which is weird to me. I don't know. I would think that me complaining about me not being successful at this would be like a huge turnoff. I mean, look, if people care about you, they care about your opinions. True, but I don't know. You are the femboy commentary and chill queer streamer? I guess so. I mean, I don't know. Femyoz doesn't pitch anything? What the fuck does that mean? The biggest thing you have going for you is the whole femboy thing. Go where the LGBT are. You're probably right. Literally just do it for fun. You overthink. No, I want to do this as a career. You don't understand, fembro. No, you don't get it. I want to make money from this. I want to be super successful. I want to be famous. You don't get it. Fembro. We're different in that way. I get that you do YouTube for fun and that's great, but I want this to be a career and I want this to be sustainable. That's the most important part. All my most successful videos are passion projects / spontaneous. Yeah, I'm aware of that. But at the same time, there needs to be a way to replicate it in a way that I enjoy, which I do. I have had so much fun with the chill femboy streams, and I keep doing them for that reason. But I know that eventually I'll need to find something else that I enjoy just as much. So that's why I want to branch out to an extent. But I'm just better than... I did not say that I'm better than him. You're doing YouTube for the wrong reasons? No, I am not. I want to do this as a career because it's what I love. I love making content, and it doesn't even fucking matter what I'm talking about. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. I mean, sure, like some topics I'm more passionate about others. For instance, I'd say I'm probably more fucking passionate right now talking about myself than I was about the fucking TikTok ban, right? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Go ask a career YouTuber what it's like. Ask me what it's like. Someone that genuinely tries doing that. It's fun. I like it. But it's also kind of stressful sometimes, but that's okay. Every job is stressful. And if I could do this as a job, as a full-time career, I would kill for that. You're not a career YouTuber? But I will be. I have the mindset of one. I have the mindset of one. That's what I mean by that. Go ask Tommy's. Look. Also, thank you, Lake Life AA. Thank you so much for the $5 I'd smash. Why, thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Most people who do YouTube as a career didn't even think of doing it as a career. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Go ask Tommy. He'll tell you full-time YouTube is soulless. Not necessarily. Look, it might be for some people, but keep in mind that me doing the algorithm maxing streams was the opposite of soulless. It was the most fun I've ever fucking had, and I'm gonna keep doing it, believe me. I just don't want to solely rely on it, if that makes sense. Now, granted, me talking into a camera and microphone for long, extended periods of time is a great way for me to be successful. Look, it's somehow managed to retain concurrent viewers on a title and thumbnail that has nothing to do with this. So clearly the only people watching are not new viewers that care about the fucking TikTok free speech thing, right? actually ask Jalen? I mean, look, I know for a fact that there's a way of doing this. When you rely on it for money, it's scary. It's not going to be something I rely on for money unless I become, like, super mega famous. Ask Jalen how it was before she fell off. Ask her what it was like being a full-time YouTuber. Look, I get it. I get it. Like, I'm not gonna be a full-time YouTuber anytime soon. But if I could, I would. If I could, I would. Look, someone wants me to add you to a Discord server. They don't like you, though. Okay, send me an invite link. I'll join it later, I guess. Well, I do, but then I'm a stray Vashite. This is true. Look, I'm just seeing so many opportunities. Everything on YouTube I see as an opportunity at this point. Also, hello, Bibble. Welcome to the greatest live show of all time. It can happen. It's like I see this as an opportunity to pull over Vash's audience. Okay, well, what does Vash talk about? Stuff like this. This is the most recent thing he talked about, so maybe I talk about it. But I don't know. Do people watch Vash for Vash, or do they watch him for the things he talks about? I don't know which one it is. Can we get a fit check? Hell yeah, we can. Another fit check is what we'll do, I guess. Look, maybe streams like this aren't the right move. Maybe I just need to stick to femboy content and then talk about politics and allude to it. I think that, unironically, that might actually do more for the left, right? So if I'm reaching out to a wider audience and I'm getting people into leftist politics by not doing explicitly leftist content, but I'm doing a thing where basically, long story short, I say things that I believe and whatnot. I mean, hell, even me just talking off the cuff rather than talking about a set topic has somehow led to me increasing concurrence. I don't fucking know how that's even possible, but it is. YouTube is not activism. I guess you're not wrong, but I want people to care about politics at the same time and agree with me. Cute, why thank you. You won't? I won't what? Vash's audience probably hates you because you didn't defend him fully. I disagree. I feel like if anybody can pull over Vash's audience, it's me. I was in Vash's audience. Look, that's the thing. I know how to pull those people over. They just have to find me. Politics is a shit show, TBH. Full of corruption, you're better off just making different content. I guess, maybe I just need to make this more of like a creative outlet and occasionally talk about things that I really care about, right? I guess. That's probably the way to go. So like, something like this, I probably should have done more research beforehand. I'm not gonna lie. I did some amount of research, right? So I knew what I was talking about, obviously. Of course, I was right the entire time. I was basically right about everything. You get the point, right? But I wasn't... It's not that I wasn't sold on the topic. It was more along the lines of, I guess... I don't know how to put it other than... It's just not like... Maybe the issue was it was forced. You're wrong. The people who don't want to watch Vash will either watch Hassan or Destiny. Yeah, but I feel like I'm better than Vash. I don't know. Maybe my head is in my ass, but I'm not the one that has Lolicon on my fucking folder. I feel like there are people like me that were Vash fans that want to move on from Vash because of the whole Lolly folder shit, right? I don't know. Just be as boring as possible while playing video games like Moist Critical. Unironically, maybe that would work. That's ego. Is it ego? I don't fucking know. Not a pedo, low bar, I guess. True, but the best way to be successful doing something is by enjoying it, even if you don't do everything. You still had fun. That might be why the fucking femboy streams are so successful. Unironically, it was literally just me testing shit and fucking around. Maybe I just need to test shit and fuck around more. I don't know, maybe Fembro is right. If I fuck around and test shit more, I don't know. Chat, what do you want me to test out? Fucking around is great. Yeah, maybe that's what I do. Where the entire thing is about me. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't know. I'm not talking about numbers, I'm talking about your own success, your personal success. Oh, yes, that's part of it too. That's part of it too, but they go hand in hand, right? So I've tested out quite a few things, I will say. Some more successful than others. I think what I need to do is I need to test out, how do I structure this? Just find things that I'm interested in and make it about me. I think that's the best way to do this. I'm very good at making everything about me, okay? I am autistic as shit, okay? Some people think it's narcissistic. Maybe it is. I don't fucking care. Seethe and cope. Look, I like talking about me, making things about me. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that, doing that on my own platform. Again, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But if I can make things about me, it's not a cope, it's a you problem. What does that mean? Psychopathic for sure. What do I want Femyoz to test out? Monster okay. As long as it's entertaining. Yeah, but I feel like I'm the most entertaining when I make things about me. I'm literally just focusing on an IRL career and just I'm literally doing both. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm hyper focusing on both. Oh my god. Oh my god. You're right, there's nothing wrong about making your own YouTube channel about you. Maybe I've just been so averse to, like, being seen as, like, a narcissist that I've, like, avoided it for so long. When in reality, maybe it would just be preferable to just indulge in that. Make it about you, don't have to do this. This is true. Maybe, look, I don't know if I'd say narcissistic, but massive in my ego is fun. It's what makes me entertaining, I think, in my live streams where it's like I'm arguing with chuds and Nazis. The reason it doesn't get to me is, of course, because A, I'm funnier than they are, and B, because you have to have a massive ego to do it, right? But it makes me more entertaining, I think. It's not about numbers. It's not entirely, but you should do it. YouTube should be for fun. Okay, but why are you so fundamentally opposed to it being a career? These aren't mutually exclusive. Look, Vosh is like that too and won't let chat bully him. This is true. Femyoz, you're back already? I guess so. Your ego is 90% of why I watch? Your ego is a feature, not a flaw? Really? I always thought it was a flaw. The fun makes it easier to make it a career? I guess so. Nah, you gotta hack the algorithm for sure. As you need revenue for content. This is true. The way you're approaching it makes it mutually exclusive. How so? How so? I'm a little bit confused by that. Don't make YouTube a career until you have a stable revenue income. I agree with that. Why are you're arguing with the voices inside of your head, Fembro? What are you doing? How long have you been live for? This stream I've been live for 2 hours. So, yeah. The numbers don't do as well as the shorts feed live streams. I don't know. I think it's better if I just interact with chat, though. Like, it seems to be the case that I get more engagement that way. Can you make a short live, please? All right. Chat, do I make another short live? I think that's what I'm going to do. Fembro is right. You got to listen. I think, just push out content and the results will come. You know what? You're probably right. I am overthinking it. Just do the thing over and over again that gets results. That's probably a good idea. Why? When you obsess over results, you're building a house over a toothpick. But that's what I'm avoiding. I'm doing the thing that I know garners less results to see if, like, it still has, like, a dedicated audience, right? That's the point. I don't know. Maybe I'm retarded. I've seen a lot of YouTubers fail, so I know it works. Okay, so have I. So have I. Look, if I do YouTube for fun, it's not... I don't know. Maybe it'll work. I genuinely don't know. I'm struggling. But you aren't learning from it. What mistakes? What do I do to make this a career full-time eventually, hopefully one day, successfully, without making the mistakes? What do I do? Like, I'm sorry, but a YouTube career full-time isn't going to magically fall into my lap if I just shitpost whenever I feel like. That's not how YouTube works, I'm afraid. Right? right now the new streaming system is the path to growing. You know what? I need to take advantage of it. TBH, there's no trick. Just put out content and hope the algorithm blesses you. I guess so. That's how people blow up. I think I might be overthinking it. What Destiny is doing. I'm not copying Destiny. No. I'm not going to be a massive DGGer. Be humble, but I feel like the opposite works. I don't know. I'm like the most insecure and most egotistical person at the same time, and it's a problem, I think. I don't know. Yesterday you had 100 viewers because the algorithm blessed you. True. I need to replicate that success over and over again, I think. Make a live just about you? You're right. You're right. It's luck plus I need to make it about me. You're so right. Be narcissistic as a character, but stay humble personally? Yeah, that's the intent. Yeah, I was just scrolling and I got pushed to your stream twice? Yeah, exactly. Depends on the time of day and night and time zone. That's part of it, of course. Look, Fuck, I am literally Jalen brained. Holy shit. Dude, this is a problem. This is, oh god. I see the pattern. If you make it about you, don't have to worry about other people. This is true. Remember the stream last night where Homeboy was in Daisy Duke slapping thighs? Do that. I mean, maybe that's not a bad idea after all. IDK about you, but I put everyone before myself. Yeah, maybe that's the issue. I don't know. When did you start taking estrogen? Like 9 months ago. Remember stream? Oh wait, I read that. What made you want to be a femboy? I don't know. I just sort of decided one day, what the fuck? I may as well do that. I saw femboys on Reddit and I'm like, damn, they're cute as fuck. I want to look like that. If you want to attach your ego to your success on YouTube, go for it, but it'll be destroyed. But look how it destroyed Jalen. Yeah, I don't know. He's talking about Evie? Yeah, no, I know. What grade are you? I'm in college. Christ. Yeah, okay. I think the... my bad, don't worry about it. To be fair, Jalen is a special case. Look, oh yeah, I'm the girl on your server you got invited to like 10 minutes ago? Hello? Why hello? I make animations or edits on YouTube, fair enough. Okay, Angel Dust, you're a new viewer, okay? How do you perceive, like, this weird fucking talking about my YouTube channel? In comparison to the femboy streams, and also in comparison to what I was talking about before. Because, like, I don't know what makes me interesting. I don't fully get it. There's, like, a disconnect, almost. I just don't... I don't understand why some stuff is successful and others isn't. The only thing to worry about on the platform is the dangerous few. Some haters get intense, to say the very least. This is true. I think I had it right the first time. Everything I do the first time always works way better. The first instinct. Do whatever the fucking first instinct is, okay? Look, I have an entire series. Femboy Destroys Femboy Haters. Fucking most popular series on my channel. Right? Very entertaining. People love it. It's funny, etc. Right? Is that not also the style of content I do to an extent with the chill femboy streams? Is destroying people that hate me? It's the same thing, right? It's literally the same niche. It builds off of itself. I've already created a niche and I've just been ignoring it. I'm retarded. I made an entire niche surrounding myself, and I've just been ignoring it and not utilizing it. You don't debate anyone? Hold on, I don't have to debate to do the thing in my niche. Debating is not my main niche. That was part of it, but that's not the entire thing. Make the title calling all Nazis and homophobes. I want to get my channel remonetized. It shows you're fearless and not soft. Yeah, but I want people to think that I might be soft until they realize I'm not soft. I want to take them by surprise. Okay, if you want advice, let me know. DM me advice, please. Feel free. Anyways, you look soft. Exactly, that's the point. Is aesthetically, I appear to be softer than I actually am. YouTube dislikes the Nazi word. This is true. You are soft. You've been on E for 9 months. This is... Okay, that's true, but not like that, okay? Okay, look, maybe it could be like something pretentious, like, dear homophobic people. No, that sounds like a BuzzFeed title, never mind. But it would work. It might work, and then they find out when they watch it that I'm, like, super edgy. Or, like, if you're homophobic, please watch this. That could be smart. I think what I need to hone in on is LGBTQ plus issues, okay? If I'm gonna be political, stick to that mainly. Yeah, shit like that. Just talk about myself more. Make tipster hate content. No, I'm good. That sounds so overdone. How do people at college react to you? They're actually quite chill. No, I don't get bullied. You are nice and kind. Why, thank you. Is that Bald Martin? You better believe it is. You gotta put Yahtzee in the title instead. True. True. Don't worry about what other people think. Just be you no matter what, okay? I think you're right. Unironically. I mean, that was the... That's what I did in the streams. You're right. Like, it sounds like generic advice, but you're totally correct. Is yes. If the entire focus is me and my personality, it works. Weirdly enough. I don't know why. You are nice and kind. Why, thank you. Well, chat, I think I know what I need to do. And, I'm gonna be ending this stream. Smash like, subscribe with notifications on. Hope you enjoyed your stay. I will see you in the next one, whether it be in a few minutes from now or who knows, maybe I do another stream. I'm just saying. All right. Goodbye. I also need to pee. Later, yeah. I'm gonna be streaming soon, don't you worry. Goodbye, Femyoz. Goodbye.